Welcome to Raleigh. Thank you for bringing me. Absolute pleasure to have you. We hope you've enjoyed your stay with us.
特にこのコンベンションに来て楽しかったでしょうか。
とても皆さんハッピーな人ばっかでとても楽しかったです。
He's been very happy to meet all these happy people who come to the convention.
Very excellent, very excellent. What I would like to do is I would like to go back to some of the pre-Ultraman work. What got you interested in being a performer?
一番最後にウルトラマンの前の話をちょっと聞きたいです。どんなきっかけで俳優になりましたでしょうか。
私が俳優を目指したのは日本のヒーロークラマテング。
What really got him into this was there was a Japanese hero, Kurama Tengu.
そして次に僕は絶対に映画俳優になる心に決めたのがアメリカの俳優ジェームズ・ディーン。
And the other thing was what really made him want to become an actor. What really made him, set his heart on being an actor was the great American actor James Dean. East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause. They impressed him so much. These movies made him cry. He couldn't stop crying watching those excellent films.
それから東宝ムービーの会社に入ってアキラ・宝田を目指しました。
And then, when he first got into the Toho movie system, he wanted to be as great as the wonderful actor Akira Takarada. Now, for those of you who don't know, the original lead in the first Godzilla movie.
ゴジラの映画にたくさん出ました。
And he was so glad to be able to participate in so many Godzilla movies.
そして円谷英二監督からテレビウルトラマンをやるから古谷が主役だから中に入りなさい。
And the man who was the set creator and the monster creator for all Godzilla films, Mr. Eiji Tsuburaya, then became the director of the television programs, including Ultraman. And the director came to him, Mr. Furuya, you will be Ultraman.
そして僕はぬいぐるみの中に入るのが嫌で、俳優ですから顔を出して演技をしたいんですけれども、だから断りました。
And at first he said, well, I don't want to be a suit actor. I'm an actor. I want to show my face. I don't want to have my face covered with the suit.
でも東宝に背が高くて痩せててフェイスが細いそういう俳優がいなかったのでぜひやれと言われました。
But his film production company, Toho Film, said, we need somebody tall, slim, with a slim face to fit inside the suit. That's you.
でも暇だったからや
And
れって言われたのかもしれません。
it's also because, hey, he had the time, he needed the work, he took it.
And we are very glad.
Oh, please, go ahead. Oh, his agent is here. We're going to take some
そ
pictures.
して、会社から言われたので仕方なくウルトラマンの中に入りました。就職者。
And so he basically, his production company was telling him that he needed to do it. And so he said, okay, what the heck, I'll take the job.
And we are grateful. when did the series, when did you realize that the series had become perhaps more popular than it was initially thought it was going to be?
いつからウルトラマンはみんな思ったほどすごく成功しているこれいつそれは分かるようになったでしょうか。
ウルトラマンは39超えました。そして39本の平均の視聴率が36% 以上。
The original Ultraman series was 39 episodes. And when they did this, the episodes, they realized that the ratings for these for most of them had gone over 36%. The audience. And at that point in time, that was huge numbers for a Japanese TV show. So when they finished it, and then they broadcast it, and these numbers came out, that's when everybody realized, oh my gosh, we've got a hit on our hands.
And continuing to this day in all of its permutations.
今でもウルトラマンが続いてるでしょう。はい。そんなに長くウルトラマンの歴があります。
53年目になってもまだこうしてウルトラマンを応援してくれるファンの方がいらっしゃるっていうことは素晴らしいなと思ってます。
And he's really amazed and grateful that after 53 years, there's still this, people who care about Ultraman. He can't believe it, and he's very grateful. He's very grateful.
We as fans are so grateful of this ongoing legacy that the character has.
私たちファンとして私たちこそ感じております。
ただそこまでに来るにはウルトラマンの撮影の時に大変な思いをしてきました。
However, in order to actually create these films, these television episodes, it was a great deal of pain and suffering for the actors in the suit.
Yes.
Which 水のシーン。
Sometimes they're like standing in water.
プールで
standing in a pool.
水が仮面の中、目と口からどんどん水が入ってくる。
Water would get inside the suit, into the eye holes and the mouth hole.
で出ていかない。
And there was no place for it to come out.
だから仮面の中で溺れて。
So there were times when he was practically drowning inside the suit, and he has to get up and be, doing the Ultraman beam. Oh, he's saying, this was like, help, please, help me, I'm drowning.
Help.
And then the heat, the sun, or these explosions, the fire. When all those explosions are going off and he's wearing a rubber suit, it was extremely hot. It would when the explosive bits would hit his rubber suit, it would melt right onto his skin, and he got burns. Yes, exactly. Ow, 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 ow. He has that experience many times.
Was there any experience that may have been an accident that was not involving physical pain, but was just amusing?
何かお笑いの思い出がありますか？これ何か NG シーンとか何か失敗があってみんなで笑ってるのことありますか？
NG はね、シーボーズというね、シーボーズという怪人がいるんですよ。
Alright, there was one time when there was a bad monster named Sea Boz.
シーボーズ。それと格闘してて、
and they're fighting away.
で、シーボーズの頭が 取れて、No, energy, energy.
And the guy's head came off. And the director's, cut!
Cut, cut.
Can't do that.
もう一回や
He
り。
knocked the other guy's head off.
そうするとここにゴムの
接着
つ
tape.
けて、それでもう一回やったからすごい時間がかかる。
So then they had to put the head back on, duct tape it down, and film the whole thing over again.
今の CG
And it took a lot of time.
で
And they didn't have CGI back then.
昔の特撮は手で一生懸命作ってそういう感じです。
In the old days, all of those suits were handmade, and you couldn't fix it in post-production back then.
How challenging was the choreography between the fights? Because your character, of course, thin and very limber, and the monsters like, "Ugh." I mean, how was it to constantly try to keep those fight scenes fresh?
この振り付けは、だからこの格闘のシーンで、ウルトラマンは結構動いたんですけど、この怪獣の方があんまり動けなくて、どうやってそれをずっと毎回面白く作るのはどうしたんでしょうか。
それはね、怪獣の中に入っている人とミーティングして、でウルトラマンはなるべく動くように、そして怪獣はウルトラマンを簡単にやっつけるように一生懸命みんなで苦労して。
Well, they had a lot of meetings. They would get together with the guys inside the monsters suits, and they'd have to plan all this stuff out. The idea is to make Ultraman be able to move as much as possible and have the monster get beat up. But again, to make it as interesting as possible, it wasn't easy. They had to put a lot of planning into that.
ウルトラマンはヒーロー。怪獣は最初にウルトラマンをやっつける。
So first, Ultraman's the hero. As is always the pattern, at first, the monster has to beat on Ultraman.
やられている姿を子供たちが見て、その悲しそうなスタイルとか背中を見て子供たちが「わあ頑張れ頑張れ頑張れ」って応援してくれるように演技をしている。
And this is the same pattern in American films, but at first the good guy has to lose a bit. And he has to kind of get beat up so that all the little kids watching the show go, Ultraman, you can do it! And they have to create that feeling among the audience so that the little kids are all cheering for it. So that then, それに、この Ultraman は、これから、
そうやる最後にウルトラマンは勝つ。でもウルトラマンは優しい。ですから怪獣が悪さをしない怪獣だったら助けてそのまま宇宙に返してあげる。そういうシーンもありました。
So then, of course, Ultraman makes comeback and acts heroically. However, there were some monsters that were not inherently bad. They were misunderstood. And so Ultraman has to help those monsters, because he's a nice guy, he has to help those monsters go back to outer space. They have to create all that as well.
ウルトラマンの優しさ
To show Ultraman's kindness.
っていうのは円谷英二監督がウルトラマンのテーマは子供たちに夢を与える仕事なんだよ。だからウルトラマンはいつも正義の味方で子供たちに夢をそういうふうに言われました。
So, and the director, Mr. Eiji Tsuburaya, that was something that was very important to him, was that Ultraman's goodness and his kindness be communicated to the audience, to the children in the audience.
Very good. How did the energy blast pose evolve? Because a lot of times in American comics, American superheroes are just. How did this evolve?
このウルトラマンビームのポーズはどうやって どういうふうに作って、どのアイディアで作ってたんですか？誰が作った？
僕が作りました。そして
Mr. Furuya was the one who invented the pose. First, the hand like in karate, shuto.
ファイティングじゃなくて空手。
His idea was that he always had the knife hands, not the ball fists.
で、こっから光線が出るために、
And the idea was that with this knife, an energy would come out from this hand
これ
edge.
が動いちゃうね。
So if it moves, that's no good. It had to be rock solid.
そうすると光線が出ないから、かけないから、これを支えるのをこっちの手で支える。
And in fact, in order to keep this hand firm, he has to support it with this hand.
そうするとここで支えて、ここから光線が出る。
So supporting the main hand with the right hand here with the left hand, the energy beam comes out of the right hand.
で、この形を作るために撮影が終わってマイハウスに家に帰ってから300回毎日鏡を見て練習した。
So after they fixed that idea, fixed that pose, he went home and practiced 300 times in the mirror how to get this just right.
疲れても毎日。
顔が見えるようにと声が見えるようにとみんなそういうこと分か
あ、
ってないよね。
それ分かってない。じゃあ教えるね。まずこのスタイルはまっすぐ立てて、ここに支えるために横からこう持って。
I'm asking him to explain what he told me the other day. Was that first, this hand has to come straight up, and then this hand has to come straight across.
そうすると真ん中だと顔が隠れちゃう。
But if it's in the middle, it's covering the face. And this is for the purposes of filming. You don't want to cover the face.
これを横にずらす。
So it's got to be moved to the side.
そうすると耳も胸のカラータイマーを消えないで大丈夫。
And it's got to be past the ear so that it's the correct angle for filming.
で、これをきちっと毎日やったおかげで今これも隠しちゃう。そうこうちゃうな。
And the glowing thing on his chest, if it's too low, cover that. So you can't cover it. So it's got to be over here and high enough that both the face and this are visible for the filming. And that was really important to get that angle correct.
So everybody's been doing it like that.
Everybody at home, they do it like this, right in front of themselves. No.
懐をね。
Over
And you
here.
realize too, this is like here is okay, but here this is a tension.
This is actually very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
で、
ちょっとこれ肩がこう出る。Yes.
Yeah, so I can't
Naturally,
imagine.
you'd want to hear. He's been giving instruction for people taking the pictures. He's like very precise as to exactly how this has to go. There's a reason for all.
And have to do that in a suit.
これのおかげで僕はブラジル行ったりメキシコ行ったりペルー行ったりアメリカではもう20何回も呼ばれて全部これの旅をして皆さんに教えて今まで来ました。
Thanks to this pose, he has been able to travel the world to Brazil and Peru and many countries and the United States, teach the world exactly how to get the Ultraman pose correct.
13年も経ってこうやってみんなに呼ばれるってことはすごいこと。
And he's amazed that even now, 53 years later, he's still being invited from all over the world to come to places like this convention, all for this.
Thank you. We're so glad you had it.
聞いてくれた本当に感謝しています。ありがとうございます。
僕いくつだか分かりますか？
Do you guys know how old he is? Guess. 25歳 Go ahead, yes.
75.
74?
76 です。
76.
best dressed man in the convention.
He is. He's the best dressed guy in the convention.
As Ultraman, you fought many visually fascinating kaiju, many great designs.
ウルトラマンとしていっぱいいろんな面白いデザインの怪獣として戦ったでしょ。
But the one that everybody remembers,
一番みんな覚えてる怪獣というのは
Jiras, not Gojira, Jiras. Wink, wink.
ジュラスは先輩の中島春尾中島が入ってる。
And inside Jiras was his senior, the great Haruo Nakajima, who was the original Godzilla.
Yes.
Inside Jiras.
Now, does everybody know what Jiras was?
Does anybody know Jiras?
Okay, Jiras was Godzilla.
Jiras was basically a
yeah, it was Godzilla with kind of like remember the Jurassic Park, the big thing with the big thing that kills the Seinfeld guy. Oh, you know sometimes they took
the head, the little spreading.
They took the Godzilla costume and put this sort of ring around the costume. He still had the Godzilla breath, the tail, and they modified the audio effect a little bit.
It was the same production company, so they had the suit.
Yes.
And they just put the.
I believe that their best was wrong. Was it that they did not have a suit, so this was a replacement.
He says it was the Godzilla suit.
Yeah, it was the Godzilla suit, but I guess they did not have a suit, an original creation to fight Ultraman for that episode.
They just added exactly what you're saying. They just added the collar.
Yeah.
Because they needed it quick.
But this obviously, to everyone, in everyone's hearts and minds, this was the answer. What will happen if Ultraman fights Gojira?
だから本当にファンの世界の中でウルトラマン対ゴジラに勝ったらどう見るあのイメージはみんなの頭の中で。
Because I like Jet Jaguar, but he is no Ultraman.
Jet Jaguar は好きですけど、Jet Jaguar はウルトラマンではありません。
あれはね、予算が足りなかったんで、ゴジラを持ってきてエレガキをつけた。
It's just like you said, they were low on budget. So they said, let's just go get that Ultraman suit, we'll slap this thing around the neck, and we'll be able to do it.
Absolutely lots of fun. And I won't say who wins, but you could probably guess. After all the years, what has been the most endearing memory of being associated with the Ultraman franchise?
この53年でずっとウルトラマンと古谷さんがくっついてるんで、この53年の中で一番いい思い出は何でしょうか？
一番いい思い出はね、アメリカに来てからアメリカの会場で60歳ぐらいの方がサインに会場に来て僕のサインをもらう。その時に握手をして涙が。
There was a time when he was at a signing event just like this one in America, and a 60-year-old American man came up to him and asked for his autograph, and this 60-year-old man started crying.
君を見て、アウトラマンを見て、僕はいじめを直した、克服した、戦った。
And this 60-year-old man said, when I was a kid, I was bullied. And watching Ultraman gave me the strength to stand up to the bullies that picked on me.
だから僕も涙流して。
And that made Mr. Furuya start crying. But these two guys were sitting there, like, they were both crying. They were both so crying with happiness. Yeah, and it makes him cry now, even just thinking about it. He was really, that he was able to touch the heart of someone that in such an important way. It really means a lot to it.
だからこの話をすると涙が出るからあまりしたくない。
He didn't want to do this story because every time he talks about it, it makes him cry again. Somebody ask something else, quick.
Actually, go ahead. I would love to open up to questions. We'll do Donahue style. Just raise your hand and I'll come to you with a microphone. And like I said, just give Jonathan a chance. So say a little bit, and if he starts talking, let's pause, and then he'll give us a cue and to pick back up.
You can say, like, keep it in short bits. It makes it easier for me.
Hey, boss, what's your name?
My name is Eddie. I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
My favorite kaiju monster is Gigan. I just wondered who Ultraman's favorite kaiju was.
What was the second part?
I just wondered who Ultraman's favorite kaiju was.
古谷さんの一番好きな怪獣はどれだったでしょう？
ジャミラ。
ジャミラ。
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Good choice.
Oh,
All right,
thank
there
you,
you
thank
go. Yeah. Hey, boss, what's in?
Hi, Chad.
What do you have for us?
Just would like to say that many of us are always going to be fans of the early films and television series like this because of the sacrifices that were made by the people in the suits.
私たちのファンの中でいっぱいのファンは一番古い、一番最初のウルトラマンは一番大好き。なぜならこのスーツアクターはこんなに苦労して自分の犠牲にしてそれを感謝しております。
Today,
Thank you very much for that.
today things are made with computers and it doesn't have that same spirit, that same work that goes into it. And
現代のものを全部 CGI でやってるのでこの苦労と苦しみもなくなりました。Yes, you're absolutely right.
so we thank you, and my question is, either before or in preparation for the series, did he do any kind of training, martial arts, wrestling, things like
プラ
that?
ンをするのために準備のために何か訓練しましたかまたは稽古をしたんですか
訓練はあの時は最初に入る時に断ったんです。僕はミスター宝田を目指して映画俳優になりたいなった。だから別にアクションは一切やらなかった。
So before, as he said before, his goal was to become like the great actor Mr. Akira Takarada, and that's one of the reasons he, originally turned down the Ultraman job. And because of that, he wasn't doing any physical training.
だからウルトラマンも見てアクションはあんまり良くないけど。
So he is a little thinks that the action in the early Ultraman series wasn't as good as it could be.
弱々しい。
He thinks Ultraman looks a little weak because of his own deficiencies.
We don't
い
think
つも怪獣でやられてる。
He always gets beat up by the kaiju at first. この方、絶対そんなこと言わないで、ウルトラマン強かったです。
But therein lies the drama. So he's got a little missing leg.
You already answered half of the question I had. Did they ever fix the costume for your own comfort as the show went on?
この番組を進めば進むほど、もっと気持ちやもっと安全と気持ちよくできるように、このスーツを変わりましたが、またずっと苦しんでいい。
そう、最初はとても苦しくて大変でした。
At the beginning it was hell.
2回目に直した時、仮面が変わった時、
But they changed it a few times after that to just make it a little better.
少し楽になったっていうのは中に入れている電池。
Okay, they added some batteries inside the suit to make it a little easier.
それが小さい
There was they made the batteries smaller.
時代でね。
At that time batteries were these really big
新し
things.
い製品。それで3回目は顔がちょっとこういつも笑ってるような感じでこう微笑ましい感じのカメラ映りになってその感じを動きに出してこれは楽になる。
And later they changed the face to make him look a little happier. Maybe Ultraman looked a little happier, and that allowed him to do more with the character.
Thank you. That's a good one. Yeah. Hey, right down.
はじめまして、古谷さん。
Your Japanese is very good.
ありがとうございます。My question is, from your acting from Ultraman to newer versions, of Ultraman and I guess other types of suit actors like Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. What do you think has improved or gotten lost as, I guess, what do you think has improved for the creative process for those, for the acting?
この一番最初のウルトラマンからそれからずっとこの50年でもスーパー戦隊もできてるし、いろんなスーツの特撮ができてるし、何のことが良くなりましたか、何のことがダメになりましたかと。
CG が出てきて良くなりました。
He says some things have gotten good because of CGI.
CG が出てきて特撮は悪くなりました。
But some things are good about CGI, but tokusatsu has gotten worse because of CGI.
っていうのは今までの特撮は画面から泥が石が涙血が出た。
So in the old days, so
昔の特撮
in the old days, like sweat, dirt, blood, tears would come out of the character.
今の CG はそれがない。
He feels like it's the CG now is just those aren't there. It's just not as real.
それで格闘ばっかドラマがない。
And the drama is gone from what used to be there.